Breaking news overnight. President Trump and the First Lady testing positive for COVID-19. Who's at risk and what's next for the government? Straight ahead.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. We want to start right away with breaking news. President Trump and the First Lady have both tested positive for COVID-19.
The president announced his positive test results just before midnight last night on Twitter. He says he and the First Lady will begin their quarantine and recovery process immediately.
30 minutes after the president's announcement, the First Lady shared that she and President Trump are feeling good. She also says that all of her upcoming engagements have been postponed.
Now, the president has not yet said if he plans to cancel any of his upcoming events this coming weekend. The latest copy of his schedule has been completely cleared for today, except for one phone call to discuss COVID-19 support to vulnerable seniors. Before the announcement of his test results, the president had made plans to make 2 stops in Wisconsin tomorrow. The president's scheduled to be in Janesville tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 before going to Green Bay for another rally.
The White House physician released a statement confirming the president's and First Lady's diagnosis. He writes, quote, "The president and First Lady are both well at this time and they plan to remain at home within the White House during their convalescence. The White House medical team and I will maintain a vigilant watch, and I appreciate the support provided by some of our country's greatest medical professionals and institutions."
We are just getting breaking news here that both of those events have been canceled, both that Janesville area rally and the Green Bay area rally. New information there. We will provide you some updates as we learn more. News of the president testing positive comes just hours after news broke that his counselor, Hope Hicks, had tested positive. We're now learning that she got that positive test result on Wednesday. She first tested negative Wednesday morning. She says she began to feel mild symptoms on her way back to D.C. from the president's rally in Minnesota on Wednesday. An administration official says Hicks was isolated from the president and others on the plane. Hicks was tested a second time Wednesday. Those results came back positive.
This morning, there's new concern for who else may have come in contact with President Trump since he contracted it. The president was in Duluth, Minnesota on Wednesday for a rally that had thousands in attendance. The president also notably shared the stage with former Vice President Joe Biden on Tuesday. And yesterday, the president was in New Jersey for a fundraiser at one of his golf courses. He was not seen wearing a mask.
We are still trying to figure out who all has had close contact with the president, the First Lady, and Hope Hicks over the last 3 days. We know Jared Kushner and Stephen Miller, both senior advisors to the president, were on board Marine One with the president and Hicks. Doctors say at this time, to ensure the continuity of government, it's imperative that everyone on the president's staff takes the necessary precautions.
So the entire staff who traveled with the president this week should be quarantining for 14 days. The president of the United States should be quarantining for 14 days.
We have not heard from Vice President Pence on if he has been tested for the virus. The only comment from him so far is this tweet posted just about an hour after the president's announcement, wishing the president and First Lady a full and swift recovery. Now, while there is no evidence that President Trump is seriously ill at this point, his testing positive does raise questions of what could happen if he becomes incapacitated.
The Constitution's 25th Amendment says a president can declare themselves unable to discharge the powers and duties of the presidency. If the president makes that decision, he would then send a written note to the Senate announcing Vice President Mike Pence as acting president. The VP would act as president until Trump sends another letter to Congress announcing he's able to resume his duties. The vice president and majority of the cabinet or another body established by law could also declare the president unable to fulfill his powers and duties. That motion would also install the vice president as acting president until President Trump provides a written declaration to the contrary.
President Trump is not the first world leader to test positive for the virus. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson tested positive back in March and spent time in intensive care, but ultimately recovered about a month later. He's tweeting his well wishes to the president this morning and hoping for a speedy recovery. The presidents of Brazil, Honduras, Guatemala, Bolivia, and the Dominican have also tested positive and recovered. The Chicago Tribune reports several top officials in India, Iran, and Israel have tested positive as well.
Right now, the stock market is already reacting to the news of the president testing positive. Wall Street futures are plunging. Dow futures fell more than 400 points this morning after President Trump tweeted that he and the First Lady tested positive for COVID. NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures also dropped around 2%. Stock futures started dropping Thursday after top Trump and Hope Hicks tested positive for the virus.
All right, 6:04 your time now. Hattie McLean is keeping an eye on the start to our weekend. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Lee and Josh. Well, we have a cool start to the weekend. Alert days are in place this morning and tomorrow morning. We have middle 30s in the forecast, and that's where we are right now. We are going to stay cool through the weekend, so if you're looking for a quick warm-up, it's not in the forecast just yet, but next week, milder temperatures are in the forecast. A frost advisory in effect this morning for the entire area. We're looking at temperatures this morning down to 33 here in Madison, 31 in the Dells. Camp Douglas is at 32. Juneau has now dropped to 32 and Watertown's down to 33. So several areas pretty close to that freezing point. In fact, Lone Rock updating to 33 now. We haven't quite hit the bottom yet in some spots, so look for these numbers to change over the next hour. Our low temperature trend going forward says that if you're concerned about any sensitive plants, the next couple of nights, tonight, possibly Sunday night, then especially Monday night, we're looking at the potential for some frost conditions here across southern Wisconsin. Once we get into Tuesday morning, those temperatures only drop into the 40s overnight and will stay relatively mild then going forward next week. High pressure is building in from the north, and that really acted to clear out the clouds late last night. You can see on the satellite map, not a whole lot of cloud cover here, so that's why we have such chilly temperatures this morning. Take a look statewide, though, and you'll see that we're actually a little cooler here in the southern part of the state than they are in the Northwoods. Rhinelander's 36, Eau Claire is 40, Superior is 38 degrees this morning. Most areas, though, in the Northwoods have already had a widespread killing frost, ending the growing season there. A closer look at southern Wisconsin. Here's what you can expect today. That sunshine this morning will be replaced with a little bit of cloud cover heading into the afternoon. Not expecting any rain showers today, but it will be chilly. Take a look at these lunchtime temperatures, mid to upper 40s. We only top right around 50 degrees here in Madison with partly sunny skies this afternoon. Fairly quiet, though, through the evening hours tonight. Temperatures, though, are expected to drop back into the 30s by tomorrow morning. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Plenty of clouds in the area on Saturday. Again, that alert day for the morning hours for those chilly conditions. 52 for the high on Saturday. I think most of Saturday actually should be dry. We see our best chance for rain late Saturday into the nighttime hours and then early on Sunday. We'll actually clear out later in the day on Sunday. So not a complete washout this weekend, but definitely on the cool side.
All right, Hattie, thank you very much. 6:07 now. A recent surge in coronavirus cases is prompting a new emergency order and a new warning from the governor.
The surges we're seeing across the state are not an indication that masks don't work. It underscores what we've said all along, which is that masks only work if everyone wears them. My mask protects me, protects you, and our masks work best when we're wearing them together. Wearing a mask isn't a...
Governor Evers' new order expands the healthcare workforce, making it easier for out-of-state physicians to help frontline workers in Wisconsin. You heard Evers talk about mask wearing right there. He says at the end of the day, whether we're tired of it or not, the longer it takes for everyone to follow those rules and take this seriously, the longer we'll have to live like this.
Dane County has now confirmed more than 10,000 total cases of coronavirus since the start of the pandemic. Roughly 44% of those are from the last month alone.
The hospital capacity in our region has increased by 38% recently. And this week, we have seen 37 people hospitalized for COVID in Dane County, which is a statistically significant increase compared to last week.
While early September saw a large spike in cases, largely due to the UW beginning its in-person fall semester, public health officials said last week that the most recent spike in cases is not tied to the university. Across the state this morning, 20 more people have died from the virus in the last 24 hours. We also set another record with more than 2,900 new cases. You may notice some different colors on this map this morning. We had to adjust the scale to better represent the increasing numbers.
Rock County is seeing some of the highest case increases in the state right now. They had 200 active cases at the beginning of September. A month later, they're now up to 600 active cases. Health officials say that kind of increase over just a few weeks has them looking ahead to a possible influx of hospitalizations.
Right now in Rock County, we are seeing a lot of our hospital beds filling up with COVID patients again. That's when it becomes concerning and alarming.
Janesville has been recognized as one of the biggest COVID hotspots in the country, with hospitals nearing their capacity limits.
6:09 right now. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic on a Friday morning. If you're heading out across town right now, really looking good. Just a couple of slowdowns. You see some red and yellows on East Washington Avenue near downtown this morning. That's about all we're seeing. The drive times off to a great start. We're in the green. John Olin Drive also looking good at this hour as you head into downtown. That's your first warn traffic.
6:09 your time now. Coming up, we are just about a month away from the presidential election. How you can make sure your ballot goes to the right place.
And later, the Brewers wrapping up their run in the playoffs. We'll have a recap when we come back.
At Healthy Minds, we recognize these are trying times, but we're here to help. Our personalized care and expertise in cutting-edge therapies can help you maintain good balance and vitality in your life. We can help you and those you care about. Contact Healthy Minds today.
Get more for your kitchen now at the Brothers Main Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale. We want you to absolutely love your new kitchen, so you'll get big savings on the latest incredible products from GE and our risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee. We want you to be 100% satisfied every time. That's why we're the More Store. The Big Kitchen Upgrade Sale with more selection, more savings, and more kitchen. Now at the Brothers Main, your local store for more since 1938.
As days get shorter, we're in the kitchen more than ever. And if there's never enough light where you need it, even simple tasks can be frustrating. Ready for great lighting? Visit the kitchen lighting experts at Madison Lighting. Their expertise doesn't cost more. And when your lighting is installed, kind of amazing. You'll love your kitchen in the right light. Madison Lighting, Watts Road, Madison.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this healthcare in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We've got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable healthcare. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Why Cedar? Because when I get home, we like to play crocodile on the floor. Cedar Easy Ring removes over 99% of bacteria, even with just water, and rings with the press of a pedal. Easy Ring. Easy and truly clean floors. Try it. You'll see. Also discover the Cedar Pro Mist Max for the fastest everyday clean. Cedar. It feels great to feel at home.
At Healthy Minds, we recognize these are trying times, but we're here to help. Our personalized care and expertise in cutting-edge therapies can help you maintain good balance and vitality in your life. We can help you and those you care about. Contact Healthy Minds today.
Welcome back. We have some breaking news into the newsroom within the last 10 minutes here. Flight restrictions on the two Wisconsin airports where President Trump is scheduled to speak tomorrow have been canceled. According to the National Business Aviation Association, a presidential notice for two hangars in Janesville and Green Bay, where President Trump was scheduled to be tomorrow, has been canceled. A clarification, we don't know if this means the two rallies are off for those cities, but we are expecting an update this morning.
6:13 right now. The FBI is offering $10,000 for information about the funeral home shooting in Milwaukee this week. Police say 7 people ages 20 to 48 years old were shot on Wednesday. They were all sent to the hospital for treatment. Police also say the preliminary investigation reveals that an incident occurred as a result of an ongoing feud between two groups of people.
Middleton police are launching a new program to help them solve crimes. It's called Scram. The department is encouraging residents who have exterior video surveillance systems to register it. By partnering with the community, police say they will be able to track down evidence faster, since they don't have to go door to door to find people who have cameras.
They're very useful, they're very prevalent, and we want to take advantage of that and kind of reduce our crime reduce our time looking for them. And, I'm sure citizens are out there wanting to help the police.
The program does not give police access to your camera and is voluntary. Information to register can be found on the department's website.
Amazon and eBay plan to remove items associated with Proud Boys from their websites. The move comes after President Trump was asked to denounce white supremacy and the group. Instead, the president told the group to stand back and stand by during the presidential debate on Tuesday. After the comments, merchandise with the phrase began selling on the sites. Amazon and eBay say Proud Boys related items violate their company's policies that prohibit offensive materials. The Southern Poverty Law Center says Proud Boys is a far-right hate group. According to The Guardian, several law enforcement agencies across the country are also concerned for their potential threat to minority communities. The Colorado Information Analysis Center says the group should be considered a threat and are also concerned for possible attacks to the community who threaten the Proud Boys' beliefs of Caucasian superiority. The CIAC says it's also identified several instances where members of the Proud Boys helped to spread misinformation on the spread of COVID.
The National Guard is setting up a new designated military police that will serve as a rapid reaction force to potential civil unrest. The unit is made up of about 600 troops spread across both Alabama and Arizona. They are ready to be deployed to any state within 24 hours if they're requested by a governor. Guard leaders have purchased more than $200,000 in equipment for this response group. Members have also gone through additional training on proper procedures for dealing with protests. And we are getting an update this morning from the Wisconsin National Guard about the soldiers who flew to California to help battle wildfires. 2 flight teams made up of 15 soldiers and their helicopters left for Sacramento from Madison last month. After their 4-day, 1,700-mile trek there, the Guard says they haven't stopped flying missions. They say they've bounced from fire to fire, helping wherever needed. The Wisconsin Guard is one of the furthest east of the states to respond to California's call for help.
6:16 right now. We want to turn to the forecast. We sent Hattie out to the patio because it is cold out there, Hattie. You've got the jacket on.
I certainly do. I've been looking around, though. I'm not seeing any frost on any of our plants here in the patio. We're up on a hill a little bit here at Channel 3, so that may be saving us this morning. A live look in Platteville, though, from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Camera, showing you clear skies this morning. Sun comes up just before 7 o'clock. Take a look at our current temperatures. 33 at the airport in Madison, 31 in the Dells. Janesville still holding at 37. Platteville, though, has dropped a couple of degrees now down to 35. So there are some spots that are at freezing this morning. We have Watertown and Juneau also at 32 degrees. Here's a look at our weather track showing you that we have clear skies for the time being. There's a little bit of cloud cover to our north and west. As we go through the day today, I do expect some clouds to develop. So your bus stop weather forecast has temperatures starting off in the low to mid 30s. You'll definitely want the jacket early today, and you'll probably be wearing it on the way home. Highs just 50 degrees. We'll definitely have a bit more cloud cover around the area when you head home from school. Here's a look at that weekend forecast. I think we're able to time out the rain chances a little bit better. It looks like most of the day on Saturday will be dry. Still cool, though. Some afternoon showers developing late on Saturday and then continuing into early Sunday. But the afternoon hours on Sunday should dry out as well, with highs near 50 degrees once again. Take a look at the updated fall color map. And again, near peak color through the Northwoods, but really starting to see some nice color here in southern Wisconsin. Most counties reporting 25 to 50% color. So while it's not the best weekend to head outside and take a look at some of those fall colors, we do have a great forecast coming up next week. Should be plenty of opportunity to see those colors next week.
Yeah, first weekend of October, Hattie, looking a little bit more like November.
In some spots, yes.
All right, thank you. We're just a little more than a month away from the election, and state officials want to make sure you know where your ballot is. So far, 1.2 million absentee ballots have been requested, and tens of thousands have already been returned. The state wanted to help people feel more confident in the process, so they upgraded their absentee ballot tracking system online to show every step of the way. Wisconsin's top election official says the hope is that people feel more confident in the process.
They can be reassured that their ballot has been received or is on their way to them. The more they know the expectations and how they fit into that process, and can ensure that their ballot is counted.
For more help on how you can track your ballot, our Jamie Perez walks through the entire process on channel3000.com.
Pfizer says the release of its possible vaccine for coronavirus will not be influenced by politics. This comes just 2 days after the president gave the company a shout-out during the debate. The company's CEO says the only pressure it feels is from the billions of people that are depending on their vaccine. The Wall Street Journal reports Pfizer CEO was disappointed to hear vaccines mentioned during the debate, saying it could make people confused.
Additional COVID-19 cases in the NFL are further postponing games for the Tennessee Titans. The Titans originally set to play the Steelers on Sunday. That game was postponed to later next week, but the league says it will now have to be made up later in the season. This after an additional player and staff member tested positive for the virus. Currently, 11 total members of the organization are positive. The Vikings, who played the Titans last weekend, have not announced any positive cases for them.
The Milwaukee Brewers season is over this morning after losing late last night in Los Angeles. The Brewers were hoping for a win to tie their playoff series against the Dodgers at a game apiece, but they fell 3-0. The Dodgers scored all 3 of their runs in the 5th inning and didn't look back. The Brewers only managed 4 hits on the night. They struck out 13 times against Clayton Kershaw. This was the 3rd year in a row the Brewers made the playoffs, but they've lost in the first round in each of the last 2 years.
What a bummer.
Oh, boy.
I know. There's always next year, I guess. 2020. Let's just blame 2020, right?
Yes, that's the reason the Brewers lost. It's 2020.
All right, 6:20 right now. Still ahead for us on this Friday morning. We're continuing to follow the latest on breaking news.
Yeah, President Trump and the First Lady both testing positive for COVID-19. What this could mean for the upcoming election that's coming up in our next half hour. Stay with us.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Concrete Lifting Technologies.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings.
At Papa Murphy's, we make fresh pizza that you bake at home. Because home is where the fun is. For a limited time only, get the Combo Magnifico Pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
We believe every baby deserves a healthy start. Yet many new parents in our community are struggling to afford the basic necessities. You can help change that.
October 8th through 11th, please donate to the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Drop off infant care items safely at these no-contact drive-through sites throughout Madison. Visit Channel 3000 for complete details. News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Dave Jones Inc.
At iMart Express, we've enhanced our safety and cleaning standards so that you can shop safely and save. Get 2 pairs of glasses for under $40 and 2 pairs of progressives for under $80. Shop safely and save at iMart Express.
Right glasses.
Right price.
Right now.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Joe Biden isn't an epidemiologist. He's not an economist or military general. But what he is the kind of leader who listens to the experts and a candidate who has earned their support. And what he'll be is a president who leads us out of this crisis and a commander-in-chief who respects those who have served. Because Joe Biden knows this moment is not about him, but about what we can do together. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Now open in Fitchburg.
Just about 6:24 this morning, our annual Coats for Kids drive underway, and every day we're updating our coat count to show you just how much of a difference you're making.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what we reached yesterday. Big day, folks. We collected almost 500 items. To beat that record we asked you folks to beat yesterday, more than 3,000 coats so far. We have to thank you for that. That's a huge leap. If you haven't donated yet, though, there's plenty of time to do that. The deadline is October 10th.
Where should we set the bar for Monday? 3,500?
3,500, folks. Let's give it a shot.
I think we can do it. You have a little bit more than a week to go through your closet and find those coats, hats, mittens, and anything that your kids aren't using anymore. You can drop them off at any Clinky Cleaners location in the area. Of course, we're going to start distributing those items later this month.
6:24 your time now. If you're looking to book a trip this month, check this out. You can book an Airbnb for hell on earth. It's not too far away either.
Not too far, yeah. Don't worry, it's nothing too scary either. It's just a tiny home in the town of Hell, Michigan. The online rental company calls it the, quote, spookiest Airbnb stay on earth. There's a fire pit, outdoor movie screen for scary movies, and a Gothic sitting area. The self-proclaimed mayor of the unincorporated town, John Cologne, is offering his mayor's lair for 3 nights in October. He says you can be mayor for the day at a cost of $31 plus taxes and fees.
Are you sold?
You got to give it to him for marketing, though.
That's true.
Good. That is good.
Very impressive.
Be mayor for $31?
What part of Michigan is Hell in?
No idea.
The whole state, says
Outside
this
of Detroit,
Badger
I
grad.
guess. Yeah.
Outside of Detroit. Okay. Well, that's not too far away if you want to make the trip.
I don't think so.
Womp.
Why go there when you can be in heaven here in Wisconsin, right?
Exactly,
Look
Josh.
at that heavenly sunrise.
Yeah, we don't have to go anywhere. What a beautiful sunrise this morning. Sun comes up just before 7 o'clock. Skies are clear. It is a little chilly outside, though. Take it from me. I just came in. Visibility is below a mile with some fog developing through the Wisconsin River Valley, but it's not a big, huge, widespread problem this morning. We are concerned with some frosty conditions. That frost advisory continues for another couple of hours for southern Wisconsin. Take a look at the actual temperatures. 33 right now in Madison. Look at Simba, though, all snuggled up in the rug.
We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Autumn adventurers, run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And
I've been a police officer for nearly 32 years. Joe Biden does not have the backs of police officers.
Joe Biden's silence is encouraging the rioters. If Joe Biden's elected, it's just going to continue.
Joe Biden empowers these people. The more you empower them, the more crime they go to commit.
In Joe Biden's America, we'll all be in danger. If you support the police and you want to be safe in your home and you want your children safe, support Donald Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts.
And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
You've got big plans for your small business, and Constant Contact's email marketing tools make it easy to stay connected with customers, so you can do more business online without the heavy lifting. Power on with Constant Contact. Try it free today.
Busted? Original Gorilla Glue, of course. Works indoor, works outdoor. It's weatherproof, it's waterproof. It's versatile and incredibly strong for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
What would Joe Biden's plan do for you? Families with young children could get nearly $7,000 for childcare. Buying your first home, you'll get $15,000 towards the down payment. If you get paid by the hour, your income could grow by as much as $14,000. Older seniors, your yearly Social Security benefits could increase by $1,300. The Biden plan. The wealthy and big corporations pay more, you benefit.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Autumn adventurers, run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And powered up with Sloan.
We'll come together as a country. We all support the president now, and we'll pray for his recovery.
Breaking news overnight with President Trump and the First Lady both testing positive for COVID-19.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining us. We start right away with that breaking news and how it might impact the president's planned trip to Wisconsin tomorrow.
Yeah, we're working to learn more this morning on whether his 2 planned rallies in the state are in fact canceled after his positive COVID announcement. Within the last half hour, we've learned flight restrictions on the 2 Wisconsin airports where President Trump is scheduled to speak tomorrow have been canceled. According to the National Business Aviation Association, a presidential notice for 2 hangars in Janesville and Green Bay have been canceled. The president originally had a rally scheduled for La Crosse, but canceled that one and planned one for Janesville instead. We don't know if these new changes mean the 2 rallies are off for those cities, but we are expecting an update this morning.
Now, this all comes, of course, after the president's announcement went global on Twitter overnight. He made the announcement just hours after top staffer Hope Hicks tested positive. The president says he and his wife are quarantining and says, quote, "We will get through this together." The president is 74 years old. His age and pre-existing health conditions have put him at a higher risk of having a severe reaction to the virus. The White House doctor says President Trump is doing well this morning and will continue carrying out his duties, quote, "without disruption." Meanwhile, First Lady Melania Trump canceling all of her engagements. She tweeted shortly after the president overnight, saying they will quarantine at home and they are feeling good. Now, as we mentioned, this all started after news broke that top staffer Hope Hicks tested positive for COVID. Within the last few hours, CBS News has learned Hicks tested positive as early as Wednesday night. The White House knew about it, but activities went on as planned the following day, including a presidential fundraiser in New Jersey. Also in close contact with Hicks is Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. She hosted a briefing at the White House for reporters for roughly 25 minutes. She did not wear a mask.
To properly quarantine for COVID-19, doctors say you need to stay at home and away from any public spaces for at least 2 weeks. The president's expected 2-week quarantine would expire on October 16th. That's 1 day after the next presidential debate is set to happen. The debate commission could reschedule it, but when and if that debate takes place depends on when the president is cleared of the virus. Another major question this morning is whether Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, have now been exposed to the virus. Within the last half hour, CNN is reporting the former VP will get tested this morning. Biden and the president stayed at their podiums during the entire debate, but we don't know if they had closer contact before or after the debate. Everyone physically attending the debate had to test negative to attend. But as we know, the virus can still be developing in your body before you officially test positive. Biden has been back on the campaign trail near reporters, supporters, and staffers since then. We expect Biden and his staffers to say more today about what their plan is going to be going forward.
The president's schedule today has been completely cleared, except for one event. He will be on a phone call about COVID-19 support to vulnerable seniors. Among the events scrapped for today is a planned rally in North Carolina. His scheduled events for the weekend and after are still on the calendar for now.
Public health officials in Rock County have been concerned about the president's planned visit. Noel Sandoval is the county's public health official. She says Rock County is in crisis mode right now as the virus is spreading quickly there. She says a large gathering would jeopardize the health of many people in that community. The White House Coronavirus Task Force says Wisconsin is in the red zone this morning. This means Wisconsinites shouldn't leave their home unless it's absolutely necessary for things like groceries and getting prescriptions. They say any kind of gathering could pose a major risk for the state.
Wisconsin now has has the third highest rate for new cases of COVID in the country. The surge is causing a hospital bed shortage, and hospitalization rates are higher than they've been since the start of the pandemic. Dr. Jeff Pothoff with UW Health says the hospital system is still able to manage the number of patients it's seeing, but he says the situation is bad elsewhere in the state.
You have hospitals saying that they are so full that they cannot take care of people the way they want to take care of people. That's the end game. That's the worst case scenario at the end of the pandemic, is we have people who are so sick that they need a hospital, and the hospital doesn't have room to take care of them. That should give all of us pause. That could be our loved one. That could be our family member.
Dr. Pothoff is urging everyone, no matter their age or where they live, to be on high alert. This will be harder than it was in March, but Dr. Pothoff says we can still bend the curve by following public health recommendations. UW Health, meanwhile, is being joined by SSM Health and Unity Point Health Meritor for a joint press conference between all three hospitals. They'll be joined by Public Health Madison, Dane County, to explain what you need to know about these rising cases across the state. We'll be sure to bring you the updates out of that briefing online and on News 3 Now at noon.
Just about 6:35 right now. Our other big story of the morning is the weather. Hattie's tracking some alert days and some frost advisories this morning, Hads.
Yeah, that's right, Josh. We do have an alert day in the forecast for this morning as well as tomorrow morning. Widespread frost is possible both mornings across southern Wisconsin, with temperatures forecast to drop into the low to mid 30s. Now, here's a look at that frost advisory. All counties included. Technically, it expires at 8 o'clock for southwestern Wisconsin, 9 o'clock here in the south central part of the state. But our temperatures are indicating that frost is likely to form in some spots. 32 in Watertown and Juneau. We're just 33 here in Madison and Lone Rock. In the Dells and Camp Douglas, you are below the freezing point this morning. So if you didn't protect those sensitive plants, they might be done this morning. Now, here's a look at our future track forecast temperatures. Again, this morning, we are going to climb back to around 50 this afternoon. So still a chilly day, but again tonight, temperatures are expected to get back into the mid 30s at times. We will climb pretty quickly on Saturday, but there could be some areas of frost early Saturday morning. Take a look at that 10-day forecast low temperature trend. And again, the next 3 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, we could see some frost across southern Wisconsin. Once we get into next week, those nighttime lows are expected to remain at least in the 40s. So no risk for frost next week. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Sky Camera at downtown Madison in the capital this morning. Skies are clear early today. Our future track forecast has a pretty good handle on those clear skies this morning. As we go through the day, though, into the afternoon, look for partly sunny skies. Some clouds will begin to pop up across the area. Not expecting to see any rain today, but it will be chilly with high temperatures only near 50 degrees. That's about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Our future track forecast calls for pretty quiet conditions through the evening hours. Now, our nighttime lows are going to depend on the amount of cloud cover that we have tonight. Right now, it looks like we should stay partly cloudy, so lows dropping into the mid 30s once again. A chilly weekend. Rain chances confined from late Saturday into early Sunday. Next week is still looking dry and much warmer, with highs in the 60s and even 70s for the next weekend.
Look at that. Just got to look forward to next week, right?
Yeah, that's true. Skip right over this weekend.
No. I mean, we can just enjoy the weekend indoors.
Josh, no.
I need a weekend. I think a lot of people need a weekend after this week.
I agree. I misspoke there.
All right, Hattie, thank you. We're continuing to track the surge of COVID-19 cases across Wisconsin this morning. Wisconsin now has more than 125,000 all-time cases of COVID. As you can see on this map, we've started using different colors. We had to adjust the scale of the map to better represent the increasing numbers. The state set another record with more than 2,900 new cases on Thursday. Roughly 24,000 of those are still active today.
With the news of the president's positive COVID result, a lot of us are wondering what comes next. Well, here's what the CDC recommends, and it applies to you and your loved ones as well. People who have tested positive need to go into isolation. Those quarantining should stay home unless they need to get medical care. If you live with other people who haven't tested positive, you should try and separate yourself stay in a separate room perhaps. The CDC says people who test positive should stay home for at least 14 days or until symptoms go away and you receive a negative test result.
New this morning, the Dane County Board is urging UW-Madison to move all of its classes online and to completely empty the dorms. The State Journal reports the board voted on the resolution overnight. A number of supervisors saying they're concerned about the surge in the county following the students' return to campus. The university and the county have been pointing fingers at each other over the recent surge in Dane County. More than 40% of the county's cases have been confirmed in just the past month.
A new study shows children can spread coronavirus among themselves, but young adults are the main source of spread. The study is based on a giant contact tracing effort involving more than 3 million people in India. 70% of infected people didn't infect any of their contacts, but 8% of patients caused 60% of new infections. The findings also contradict the notion that children are unlikely to catch the virus. It's exactly the opposite in this particular study. Researchers in this India study say children are getting infected in significant numbers. New information now updating us on when a vaccine could be ready. Moderna says its version could be available to the general public by late March or early April. The company is basing this off what they're seeing in trials right now. Moderna could file for full licensing as soon as January. Moderna's vaccine is showing promising results in older adults who are the most at risk for severe complications from the virus.
A look at your Friday morning traffic right now as we take a look at the Madison maps. Dane County looking pretty good. A couple slowdowns along East Washington Avenue near downtown. Beltline looking A-OK and a few delays down by McFarland in the Highway 14 area there. Rock County also looking good this morning. No crashes or incidents to report. And there's your drive times as we head out the door. Let's take a live look outside right now. We made it to Friday, TGIF, and a beautiful shot from the Edgewater Skycam as we take a look at downtown Madison. Take it in, folks, because we've got a cold weekend on the way, and Hattie will have all the details you need to know coming up right after the break. We'll be right back.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Join Anytime Fitness on Tuesday, October 6th during our 12-hour sale and literally only pay what you can. It's our way of helping you get back to making healthy happen. Pay what you can on Tuesday, October 6th at Anytime Fitness.
Don't miss these great deals at Govan Cars Grand Opening Sale. 2017 Nissan Sentras, Hyundai Elantras, and Kia Fortes for only $99.95 or $159 per month.
That's right. Buy a 2017 Nissan Sentra, Hyundai Elantra, or Kia Fortes for only $99.95 or $159 per month. So just hurry in today and just ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Govan.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Govan. You gotta go to Govan, GovanCars.com.
If you're hearing a grinding or squealing when coming to a stop, it's time to have your brakes checked. Meinke's 23-point inspection will identify the problem and get them in working order. Stop in or make an appointment online today. Meinke, doing car care right.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
On the next Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor has all the latest COVID-19 news, plus he'll take your calls.
And Michael Bruno previews the Madison Area Music Awards virtual edition as he goes behind the screens.
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Welcome back at 6:43. As we've been talking about all week, it's Leah's favorite week of the year, Fat Bear Week.
Oh, it's a big one, guys. But today we want to talk about another bear with its eyes on the food prize. Police officers in Kidder Township, Pennsylvania say bear complaints are up this year. So when he got a call for this guy, a bear on top of a garbage truck, he wasn't that surprised.
We can only assume that it was sick of going for the small amount of trash in the garbage pails and went for the big prize.
Back in July, another bear in the same township made its way into a car and ate all the food left behind in the back seat.
It is bulking season for the bears as they get ready to hibernate, so it is not unusual for them to be out and looking for some extra food this time of the year. Look at that curious little guy.
Hi, buddy.
Just wants a little food, a little grub.
Yeah, he's bulking. Don't we all have a bulking season, Hattie?
I wish that we could have a bulking season and it actually be respectful as humans.
We're hibernating.
Hibernating.
Yeah, just hibernating.
It's a Friday.
Oh my gosh, I love that video though. Up close and personal with the bear in the garbage truck there.
I guess it's a new way to compost, right? You reuse all that garbage.
Look at that shot behind you, Hads. What are you showing today?
I know, I've been showing some viewer pictures all morning. This one's from Jerry Davis. He captured the full moon. The buck standing right under that moon. It almost looks like you could have choreographed that shot, but I guarantee you he didn't. So thanks for sharing that one. Beautiful pictures of the full moon last night. Here's a look at another picture from a viewer, though. This one of a rainbow, different kind. Look at that bright rainbow. The colors are just so vibrant with that rainbow. Thanks to Aaron for sending that one in. I saw the rainbow. It wasn't quite that bright, though, when I saw it on the west side of town. Here's a look at the precipitation amounts yesterday. Generally pretty light across the area. Most spots barely measurable. We had on and off showers, though, through the afternoon. Now the showers have come to an end. We have mostly clear skies this morning across southern Wisconsin and a chilly start to the day. Temperatures are down in the low to mid 30s. Some areas are below freezing this morning. That's the first time here in southern Wisconsin. Temps will climb to a high of 50 this afternoon, so you likely want your jacket as you head out the door this morning. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a closer peek at that weekend forecast.
Very much.
Well, coming up in the morning sprint, we'll have the latest on breaking news right after the break.
But first, it's October 2nd. We want to say happy birthday to all the kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning. Have a great day.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
A woman who was young had COVID-19. I remember her because she had a bracelet that had the names of her children. She asked me, "Doctor, am I going to be okay?" And I could not give her the answer that I wanted to give her. There's no excuse for why we don't have this under control at this point. Joe Biden listens to medical experts. He actually has a plan that does the things that we should have been doing many months ago. And Joe Biden is not going to let his ego get in the way of fighting the disease.
FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Getting your air ducts thoroughly cleaned takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. Our equipment goes deep inside your ducts, removing years of dirt, pet hair, allergens, even dust mites. Unlike other air duct cleaning companies, Stanley Steamer cleans your entire system. Just look at how much dirt can be removed. Call today for a free inspection and save $50 on a cleaning.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
You want to vote. It's important. You have strong reasons and you want to voice your opinion. But there are obstacles. Registering, the right ID, getting your ballot, and making it count. Start by calling the Voter Helpline, 608-285-2141 for help getting the obstacles out of your way. Or text Help Me Vote. It's free, it's not affiliated with any party, and you will be heard. Call today and be heard. Speak up and vote.
A service of the Voter ID Coalition with support from Dane County.
When you put money in a big bank, there it goes. But when you keep your money at Associated Bank, it gets invested close to home. It might become this family's renovation or help this little one's college fund. It could build local business or your favorite neighborhood spot. Because when you bank with Associated Bank, your money works in your community. All you have to do is make a simple choice. Send your money there or keep it here. Associated Bank. Your money works here.
It's the mattress sale you don't want to miss. The A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale on now. With savings of up to 40% on top brand mattresses. Get a Nectar or Dream Cloud. The only mattresses with a 365-night guarantee and a lifetime warranty. Plus tax included on every purchase over $499. And for qualified customers, 48 months free financing. Most in-store items available for immediate pickup or delivery. One location only. Stoughton Road, Madison. Don't miss the A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale on now.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
Welcome back at 6:49. Time for the morning sprint.
We start with breaking news this morning. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have both tested positive for coronavirus. The president making the announcement on Twitter overnight, just hours after top staffer Hope Hicks tested positive. The president says he and his wife are quarantining, saying, quote, "We will get through this together." The president is 74 years old. His age and his pre-existing health conditions put him at a high risk of having a severe reaction. The White House doctor says President Trump is doing well and will continue carrying out his duties, quote, "without disruption." We're taking a live look at the White House this morning, where the First Lady, Melania Trump, says she and the president will be quarantining. First Lady is also canceling all of her engagements. She says both of them are feeling good.
Lots of reaction to the president's diagnosis pouring in overnight. Russian President Vladimir Putin among the world leaders extending his wishes for a quick recovery for the president and First Lady. He sent Trump a telegram saying he hopes the president's vitality and optimism will help him cope with the virus. Vice President Mike Pence also says he's praying for their full and swift recovery. Pence did not say whether he has been tested for COVID-19. We're expecting to learn today whether he has plans to do so if he hasn't already. And many local lawmakers waking up to the news this morning. Former Governor Scott Walker is one of them. He's also sending his prayers to the president within the last half hour, sending this tweet out.
Also within the last half hour, Congressman Mark Pocan of Madison tweeting his thoughts. He says he hopes the president and First Lady have a speedy recovery and that this shows the nation the need to take COVID-19 seriously, adding, quote, "Ignorance or arrogance or denial can be costly." The president may have exposed several top staffers to the virus as well. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has been traveling on and off with the president this week and meeting with Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Meadows has tested negative this morning, but because of the manifestation period for the virus, he'll likely need another test in a few days to confirm those results. If he and Judge Barrett end up having to quarantine, it could delay Judge Barrett's confirmation hearings and the confirmation process. The president has been pushing for the Senate to approve Barrett before Election Day. It's unclear if that will now be possible.
The recent exposure could create a domino effect. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin has also been spending a lot of time with the president recently. Mnuchin also working with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other top lawmakers on a new stimulus proposal.
The deliberations over that stimulus deal could be put on pause for the foreseeable future if lawmakers quarantine following the president's diagnosis. The House had passed their latest draft, the $2.2 trillion proposal, last night. The White House and GOP aren't expected to pass it. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said he wouldn't approve of a package that costs more than $2 trillion.
Stock futures are going down this morning following the president's announcement. You can see the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P all showing more than 1% decreases this morning. It's unclear why exactly investors are jittery, but generally markets don't like uncertainty.
The U.S. Secretary of Agriculture will meet with Wisconsin farmers today. Sonny Perdue will visit Edge Dairy Farmer Cooperative in Cedar Grove just before 10 this morning. He'll hear concerns from local farmers and discuss trade agreements. They'll then go to Waukesha for a tour of Almond Inc. That'll happen around 12:30 this afternoon.
Wisconsin elections officials say more than a third of registered voters have requested to vote absentee this election cycle. If you're one of those voters, they say you should return your ballot as soon as possible. Of the 1.2 million ballots requested, 400,000 have been filled out and received by local clerks. The deadline to register to vote online is October 14th.
The Madison Clerk's Office wants to help you prepare for the election. The Clerk's Office partnering with the city's Parks Division to accept absentee ballots and get people registered at all city parks. Elections officials will be at more than 200 locations tomorrow and can serve as your absentee witness if needed. If you want to go, it runs from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. If the weather doesn't hold out, it'll be pushed to Sunday.
A new 20-megawatt solar field is about to come to Fitchburg. Madison Gas and Electric got approval for it last night. The O'Brien Solar Fields project will provide locally generated solar energy to local businesses, cities, and public institutions. MG&E says projects like these will help them get to net zero carbon electricity for all of its customers by 2050.
Breeze Stevens Field turning into Breeze Screamin's Field today. It'll be Madison's only haunted house for this spooky season. Social distancing protocols will be in place. Performers will be standing behind glass walls. There will be no physical interaction between you and those performers. If you go, you'll have to wear a mask and have a ticket for a reserved time. Tickets cost $19.
The Brewers season officially over this morning. The Dodgers swept the Brew Crew in the best-of-3 wild-card series, clinching it with a 3-0 shutout win overnight. The Brewers collected only 4 hits in the entire game. They struck out 13 times. This was the 3rd year in a row the Brewers made the playoffs. It was the 2nd year in a row they didn't make it out of the first round.
The Packers have an extra day to prepare for their next game, which might help hobbled wideout Davante Adams. He missed the Packers' last game Sunday night in New Orleans and says he won't play until he's 100%. Number 2 receiver Alan Lazard is also dealing with an injury today. The Packers are a perfect 3-0 to start this year, while the Falcons have not won a game yet. 6:55, let's take a look at the roads this morning. If you're heading out on this Friday, we're seeing some delays ramping up along East Washington Avenue in the yellow, both inbound and outbound. Park Street actually looking good so far this morning, moving at posted speeds and no problems on the Beltline at all or the interstate. Drive times from the interstate to John Nolan Drive around 4 minutes, westbound John Nolan to University Avenue around 2 minutes. And if you're taking John Nolan Drive in or out of downtown this morning, looks like you're moving at posted speeds. You shouldn't have any issues on a Friday morning the way we want to see it, right before the weekend. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast, a live look as you can just start to see the sun above the horizon. We have clear skies here in Madison. Our frost advisory is in effect for the area, though, for another couple of hours. Temperatures have been falling. We're now down to 31 in Madison, so officially below the freezing point, 30 in the Dells, 32 in Juneau, and 33 in Lone Rock. It's a chilly start to the day today. Grab the jacket as you head out the door and the sunglasses. We'll have more sunshine today than we did yesterday, although some clouds are expected to develop for the afternoon. Look for high temperatures right around 50 degrees. Looking ahead to the weekend, rain chances push back until later on Saturday. It looks like the rain will come to an end early on Sunday, so it won't be a complete washout for the weekend, but it will be cool. Here's an updated look at those fall colors for southern Wisconsin. Many locations up to around 50% color right now, so looking pretty good for the southern part of the state.
Patty, thank you. And thanks, folks, for joining us on this Friday. We hope you have a beautiful weekend. We'll be back here Monday morning.